It's roots and resilience. Time for educational brilliance.
Oh yeah.
In lockdown and stuck at home.
Hey guys, it's another kind of damp day in the garden, and I thought I'd give you some more ideas for things you can do out on your exercise and also if you're lucky enough to have a garden. So, damp days are loved by slugs and snails. So I've come to try and find some in my garden. And I know that down here is a favourite spot for some really big snails. So I'm going to try and get one. Being gentle. Oh, cool. I've got a really nice snail here. And snails and slugs are part of the gastropod family. That's if you want to be super posh, you could be like, that is a gastropod, and teach that to people like adults who don't know things like that. And gastropod basically means stomach foot, because it's kind of like they just go about on a big stomach all day, which is kind of gross. And slugs and snails are really important. A lot of people think they're kind of annoying because they eat all your veg. And that's why that one's hanging out in there, because sometimes I plant veg in here. And they do. They eat your vegetables, but they also eat all sorts of weird stuff. Dead plants, dead animals. And actually, that's really important because slugs and snails are amazing at recycling and giving energy back so other plants can use it to grow. And they're also a really important source of food for lots of really cool creatures. So hedgehogs love eating slugs, and so do badgers, foxes, and birds as well. So they're a really important part of the food chain. And I've heard, but it's not totally proven by science, that if you hum at snails, they might come out of their shell. So I'm going to give it a go. I don't think it likes my humming. I'm going to go see if I can find some other snails that might like it better. Okay, so that snail didn't seem to like my singing very much. So I've come to find myself another one, a different species of snail, this one. And one thing I really want you to look out for is to see if you can find the slimy trails that they leave behind. And the slimy trails have two main purposes. Number one, it allows the snail to get around because it's pretty difficult work getting along when you've got no legs and feet. And the second thing is that it allows them to stick. Snails have a superpower. Have you ever seen a snail scaling up the side of a wall? It's something that we couldn't do, but they manage quite easily because their slimy trail is so sticky. And scientists are researching about this slime right now because they think it could help repair parts of the human body when they're damaged. And some dafties use snail slime in face creams because they think it'll make them look younger. Pretty weird. Now, a challenge for you today. If you've got a garden, I'd like you to get out there, see if you can find some snails and have a good look at them. Be gentle with them and make sure you put them back exactly where you found them. And maybe try humming to them and see if you get on better than I do. If you've not got a garden and you're out for your exercise, see if you can spot some slimy trails. Do you know that other snails use those trails to find snail pals? It's pretty cool. So see if you can see any signs of slugs and snails. You might even spot them too. It turns out maybe the snail liked the humming after all, and it's an amazing opportunity to see something really cool. So snails actually hibernate during the winter. They're mostly made up of water, so they don't want to get frozen in the winter. So they make this thing here, which is an epiphragm. And it's like a slimy, hard door that shuts over the bottom of the snail to keep it moist and safe within. And this is amazing. This one's just woken up from its winter hibernation and it's now exploring the grass, and you can still see the slimy door, the epiphragm, attached to the snail shell. And now it's out and about seeing what it can find to eat. And this kind of snail, this garden snail, was introduced to Britain a long time ago, and people used to eat them. That's right, they used to eat these snails. Don't try it now, you wouldn't like it. And they used to be called, when they sold them, wall fish. Would you eat something called a wall fish? And snails have another really cool thing they can do. they've got a homing instinct, which means they can find their way back home. If you move a snail about 19 metres away from your home, which is a long way for a snail, it can find its way back. But move it just a little bit farther, and it'll probably have to find a new home. And this is something some gardeners like to do so they don't come back and eat their veg. But this one's so cool. I think I'm going to let it stay. Maybe give it a name, like Wallfish.
Roots and resilience.